And this one is also my solo pick of the week, which is something I just made up on the spot right now because I just want to have 2 picks of the week this week because this one does look like a lot of fun. I'm really not much into solo games, but I do sometimes find myself playing them, so maybe I'm slowly being converted. But this one has a theme that I love, and it also just looks like a ton of fun because it does use dice rolling for the actions, which is something that I'm a big fan of, but then the dice are also used in a really clever way. But the way that you actually win this game is by completing various objective cards, which will change from game to game, giving you a little bit of variety. But coming back to the dice rolling, the way that your turn works is that at the start of your turn, you're going to be rolling those 3 dice, and then you're going to be deciding which of those dice you want to activate first. And the order here really does matter because whichever die you decide to activate first, the value of the die is the amount that you're going to be moving your meeple around this rondelle here, which is going to be determining the action that you're going to be performing, because wherever you stop, you're going to be performing that action. These actions can do all sorts of different things, but they're mainly going to be getting you some different resources or food, or allow you to rest. But what's really clever about the dice in this game is that after you've performed your 3 actions, you're then going to be resolving the weather and the wildlife, and these are normally going to have negative effects on you, but if you are prepared, you can also get some resources out of them as well. But the thing that determines the weather and the wildlife that you're going to be going up against is the roll from your previous turn. There's various locations on the board for each of these effects, and depending on the wildlife you face, it's going to be moving you to a different location on a separate board. But essentially, after you've resolved everything, you're going to be cycling all of your dice, gaining the dice located on the weather and wildlife portion of the board, and then moving your freshly rolled dice into those locations, essentially setting up the weather and wildlife for the following day. Like I said, players are doing all of this to try and complete certain objectives so that they can survive the island, but if you end up on the island for too long, that is going to be triggering the end of the game, with of course the player most likely becoming pet food for the island. Luckily, there are some tool cards you can gain throughout the game if you're able to get certain resources. Then you'll be able to trade those resources in for some sort of craftable item that will be able to help you achieve your goals. The game continues like this until the player completes those goals or has come to the island. And if you are interested in this one, you can follow along. I'll have a link to the Game Found page in the description below.